The true Buddhist school was founded in the late 1980s by Taiwanese native Lu Seng-yen. He is one of the more well-known Vajrayan sects in Taiwan. Now, while we talk about Vajrayan, let us go back to the Vajrayan's origin, which happened in Odisha and in the southern east part of India. Odisha, as I said while I was talking about the Buddhism in Odisha, I emphasized that Odisha also had some schools, some universities, like the famous Nalanda University, about which everybody knows, but very little is known about the universities that was there in Ratnagiri, Udayagiri and Lalitgiri. And in course of my discussion, I emphasized, I told that Tibetan Buddhism, the founder of Tibetan Buddhism, the teacher who started Tibetan Buddhism, he was Guru Padmasambhava, who originated from Odisha and who was studying in the schools in the monasteries of Ratnagiri, Udayagiri and Lalitgiri. And Guru Padmasambhava established the Tibetan Buddhism, that is a Vajrayana form of Buddhism. And naturally, the people of Taiwan, those who believe in this Vajrayana school of Buddhism, how it started, when it started, who started it, where it is started, and the major center of Vajrayana Buddhism, they got to go or must make a visit to Odisha to understand it better. Now let us discuss about Buddhism in Vietnam. We do not find two people agree on when Buddhism arrived in Vietnam. So, despite disagreement on when Buddhism arrived in Vietnam, it can be assumed that as early as 3rd century or 2nd century, it came either from India or during the 1st, 2nd century from China. It is the Mahayana school. Vietnam got its Buddhism either from India or from China around this 1st and 2nd century. But by the 9th century, both Pure Land and Thein, the Jain, were major Vietnamese Buddhist schools. In the southern kingdom of Champa, Hinduism, or you can say Brahmanism, and Theravada school of Mahayana were well practiced. They are all practiced there until 15th century AD, when an invasion from the north led to the dominance of Chinese-based forms of Buddhism. Till 15th century, both Buddhism and Hinduism was the dominant force in Vietnam, but when there has been an invasion from the northern side, it led to the dominance of Chinese-based Buddhist practices in Vietnam. Theravada Buddhism, the Buddhism that is being practiced in Sri Lanka, continue to exist in the south of Vietnam. Vietnamese Buddhism is thus very similar to Chinese Buddhism and to some extent reflects the structure of Chinese Buddhism after the Song dynasty. Vietnamese Buddhism also has a symbiotic relationship with Taoism, Chinese spirituality, and the native Vietnamese religion. Because in order to exist in that land and in order to be popular in this land, Buddhism had adopted some of the practices which was there in the native Taiwanese religion and some traits of Taoism. Then we come to Buddhism in Korea. Though many Korean monks we know have visited India and China in the 6th century to study Buddhism, yet Korea got introduced to Buddhism in the 4th century AD. During this 6th century, it traveled to China and India to study Buddhism, because in these centuries many Koreans went to India and to China to study Buddhism. Various Korean Buddhist schools were developed in this time, and Buddhism prospered in Korea around 688 to 926, when it became a dominant force in the society. Buddhism continued to be popular in Goryeo period, which is from 918 to 1392. In particular, Shion or the Jain Buddhism was also popular. However, during the Confucian Yi dynasty of the Joseon period, Buddhism faced a reversal of fortune, beginning with the Confucian monastery confiscated of the monastery land by the rulers, and the closing down the monasteries, and on the ban on ordination by aristocrats in the 16th, 15th century. So when the aristocrats of 15th century Korea, they opposed, naturally the state confiscated the monastery land and many monasteries closed down. Then we come to Buddhism in Japan. Buddhism started in Japan in the 6th century by the Korean monk bearing sutras and an image of Buddha. During the Nara period, that is 710 to 794, Emperor Shomu ordered the building of a temple throughout his kingdom, throughout realm of numerous temples and monasteries were built in the capital city of Nara, like the 5-story pagoda, the Golden Hall of Hoyuji or Kyokuji temple. There was also a proliferation of Buddhist sects in the capital city of Nara. During this late Nara period, the key figure of Kokai 774 to 835 and Seicho in 757 to 822 founded the influential Japanese school of Shingon and Tendai respectively. An important doctrine of these schools was Hongaku, innate awakening or original enlightenment. They say it original enlightenment. Later, in the Kamakura period, from 1185 to 1323, there were 6 new Buddhist schools founded, which competed with the older Nara schools and are known as New Buddhism of Kamakura Buddhism. They include the influential Pure Land School of Honen, 1132 to 1212, Shinran, 1173 to 1263, the Rinzai and the Soto school of Zen Buddhism founded by Ieyasu in 1141 to 1215, Dozen 1200 to 1253, as well as the Lotus Sutra school of Nichiren from 1222 to 1282. So these are different schools in Japan.